We're all big fans of this guy. He's doing comedy. No stranger to comedy, by the way. And we'll get into that more. Actor Jeremy Piven is on the Cruz Show. Let's get it. Let's
good.
Get it.
Yes, sir. It's good to be here.
Bro, I fuck with you heavy.
Thank you, man. I love it. I love it. I tell you, that's the biggest compliment I get, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, because, you know, I almost feel like I'm white meat adjacent. If I don't even know what that means, what I just said. I literally don't even know what that means. But there's all these different cultures that come up to me, and they say that, you know, and...
That's love. That's
it is love.
acceptance.
It is love because, you know, you guys are very opinionated and you don't kiss ass and you say things that you mean. So when I hear that, but what's really funny is brothers, if they're showing love to a white boy, they look around. They don't want anyone to see them showing the love.
They don't want to lose their hood
They look
card,
around
bro.
like it's a '70s drug deal. They're like Charles Barkley came up to me one time. He goes, "Hey, man, for real though. Hey, you doing your damn thing, man. You do your damn thing." And I was like,
that, Chuck.
"Thank you, Chuck." But he was looking. I was like, "Are you gonna hand me some rock? Like, what's happening?"
Because you're looking around like you got some hot shit in your pocket.
There you
feel
go.
me?
He's more likely to hand you a cheeseburger than that.
I know. You know what? That guy kills it. He's so funny.
Yes, he is.
You know.
yeah.
I love him.
Dude, you're no stranger to comedy, obviously. You've played many comedic roles, right?
Yes.
You also come from improv.
Yeah.
Some people may or may not know that, but you studied under some great people, and you've had a lot of comedic greats around you as well to learn from, yeah?
Yeah, man. I mean, I started at the Piven Theater. I was lucky enough to kind of be a part of my family's theater from the time I was a kid. I got thrown up on stage at about 8 years old, and it's funny, yeah. And then after college, I started at Second City with a guy named Chris Farley a million years
Rest
ago.
in peace, legendary.
You know, God rest his soul. And it's interesting because here I am a little late in the game, transitioning into stand-up, and people are kind of going, "Huh, really?" And what's interesting is, to me, and I mean this, all roads have kind of led to stand-up because I've gotten to do improv, sketch comedy. You write and rewrite your dialogue and whatnot. So to me, and I love the form.
And you're not new to the stage?
No, man. I mean, that's my home. It's where I navigate. And I grew up watching guys like Richard Pryor and just being blown away. And to me, Richard Pryor looks like a brilliant comedic actor who's entering into characters, you know?
Right.
So, you know, this weekend, I'm at the Brea Improv.
Brea
You
Improv.
like that
Brea
transition?
Improv.
That's
I
a
like that.
transition.
Way to work
Plug one,
the plug.
plug two.
Yeah, there you go.
Brea
and,
Improv.
And come on out, because for me, it's like, it's the greatest thrill because I write everything.
Sure.
So this is my story, my life, my truth, and I get to hang out with people. And, you know, there is some misconception. I played Ari Gold for almost a decade.
Yep.
I was in people's living rooms.
Love Ari.
So when people come up to me and they go, "Bro, I'm a douchebag because of you, bro," and I'm thinking, I don't want to take all the credit. I think you're killing the game right now, my man.
I think you should shout out your dad as well.
Yeah, and your entire family tree, because you're the grand poobah of the douchebag parade at this moment. So, yeah, that's a trip, and there's some misconceptions. And for me, it's a gift to be able to be in the same room with all these people, travel across the country, and do my thing. And also, it's interesting, a club owner said to me, "Are you okay disappointing audiences?" And I was like, "No, I'm not. I don't know what that means." He said, "Look, they have a reference for you as an actor. They hold you in a certain regard. And then, you know, you're new to stand-up, and are you okay disappointing?" I said, "Listen, I'm not here to disappoint anyone. You know, as Conor McGregor said, I'm not here to take part. You know, I'm here to take over. And, no, I'm not going to take over. I have respect for everyone in the game. But it's my job to make them laugh from beginning to end.
I have so many
have
questions,
to do that.
right? Have you encountered any hecklers yet in the start of your comedy?
It's interesting.
career?
I have encountered them. I had a guy last night. He was going in on me. And I said, "My man, you know, can we start with your shirt? Because my grandmother has that couch. Is that my grandmother's couch?" And he was like, "I was banging your grandma." Like, he started in on me, and I was like, wow. And it was just one of those moments where, like, it's interesting because one of the many things that I don't have a reference for as a guy who didn't grow up doing stand-up is I have no reference for crowd work. So I have to absorb it at the speed of light, be a sponge, know that, like, okay, you know, love these people. You know what I mean? So spar with them with love. You know what I mean? And treat them like children, and be patient with them until the punchline comes, and then drop the hammer.
That's it.
And so it's easier said than done.
Sure.
But I'm having a blast.
Have you bombed yet?
I have bombed heavily.
That's tough.
Yeah,
And that's a blow to the ego coming from.
It's a huge
your
blow
line
to
of
the
work.
ego. And unbeknownst to me, it was one of those moments where, there's a little place called the Dime, and it's on Fairfax. Maybe you guys been to this bar. They got
I've seen it. Yep.
Yeah, it's a trip. It's a great little spot. They got some good DJs at night. It's a tiny little spot. And on Tuesday nights, my boy Adam Hunter, who's a brilliant comedian, who opens for me on the road, and he kills. He has this night, and I got in there, and it's usually like, there's stand-ups in the back folding their arms. The people that are there have wandered in to see the DJ after you. They don't really know you, And I open with, you guys are probably wondering what I'm doing up here, and I hear, yeah, what the fuck are you doing up here, man?
And some people may think it's a Q&A as well, right? And they want to ask you questions.
Yeah, and they just want to, or it's not even heckling. They're just yelling out, They'll just be like, the goods, man. And I'll be like, sir, do you have Tourette's?
Yeah,
What's happening right now?
I know.
No, it's
or yelling out your lines, famous lines from movies.
That's what I was just gonna ask you, because we walk around saying cheese all the time and all kinds of different stuff.
bro.
What are like the top 3 that people yell at you all the time?
Well, that's a reference from old school.
Yes, sir.
And that was I'm doing a scene with Vince Vaughn, and Will Ferrell's crushing it in that movie, and that was, I've had so many of these incredible just interactions and experiences that I talk about. People don't realize, like, I played the gay Versace salesman in Rush Hour with Chris Tucker, and so being on the set at dawn with Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, right? And what that experience was like, Mike Tyson, and I'm not making this up, wandered onto the set and was shopping and didn't see any of the lights or the cameras or Jackie Chan or Chris Tucker or this white dude, saw nothing.
Hey, Mike,
you know what I mean?
It's like someone walking in the middle of your photo, like you're taking a pic,
Right.
and someone just, stumbles upon your pic.
Right. And it was very, very surreal. And Chris Tucker, anything Chris says is funny.
Right.
And his only line was, I need something 40 long, silk, and something in the kids department for my partner. I know that was his line, right?
Right.
And so my only line was, may I help you?
Uh-huh.
But I did 40 movies before Entourage, and every one of them was, I maybe had one line.
Yeah.
And that movie, I played the saleswoman. I swear to God, that was the name of the role, saleswoman. Didn't even, I was the wrong gender and didn't even have a name.
Right.
And you get.
What a big break.
Yeah, it was. Every single one of them's your big break.
Right,
Because you have to think of the role as the lead of the movie. It's important to be delusional as an actor, and I'm very delusional.
Is that right?
So you have to play the role as if it's the lead, even though it's the smallest role in the movie.
Sure.
You come over prepared, ready, with your own writing and able to improvise. So my only line was, may I help you? So I said to Chris, so I'm playing him, it's very gay like this. So I said, you've got the mochaccino skin. Let's put a dead animal on you. Buttercream, buttercream, buttercream. What's below the waist? Mystery meat. And he goes, hey, sweetness. And I just go, oh, little Kim, you're fired up, And so, and Jackie Chan, he speaks Mandarin. He doesn't even speak English. He's looking at me like, what is going on right now, I'm just going, buttercream, buttercream. He's going, buttercream?
Buttercream.
He doesn't
And
know
we've had
what.
Jackie Chan on the show. What a great guy.
Oh, he's the best.
I love how he's not giving his kids any money. I love that.
What?
Because
That's
he's worth so much money, right?
That's amazing.
And he's not giving them anything. He
That's
said, listen,
amazing.
I had to work for it. They're going to have to work for it.
He's one of these guys where he came up in the Peking opera. He's he's a classically trained thespian who's a superstar. He's basically Elvis in Hong Kong.
And extremely funny.
Extremely funny, well-trained. He's like a. I mean, talk about like the new way to age. I don't even know how old that guy is. In his 60s, right?
I think so, yeah.
And he's still doing his own stunts. He's a genius.
Yeah, he's a gangster. What's up, Leche?
No, going back to all the the characters, some legendary, some not too popular. Which has been your most favorite character throughout all those movies?
I loved a role, Buddy Israel, that I played in Smoking Aces. And to this day, people think that I'm a drug addict. I'm like, no, bro, that's acting.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Some people can't separate the character from the person, right?
No, I'm like overseas, like, all right, mate, you want to do a little bit of Charlie there? All right, a little bit of the old white powder there, Jezza. What do you say? What do you say, Governor? And I'm like, oh no, I don't actually do blow.
Right.
I've seen you do blow, mate. No, that was Powdered Vitamin C. It was a movie. It was a fictional character. It wasn't a documentary. What's happening
And my
right
actual
now?
name is Jeremy Piven.
Yeah, I'm a stage actor from Chicago. So there's some misconceptions, and I love it and welcome it, and that's what stand-up's about, is breaking through all that, having fun, being on stage as myself, and then entering into these characters. And you said to me before we went on, because I saw this brilliant. Last night I performed at the Laugh Factory with a guy named Godfrey, who's, he's legendary, and he's one of the best in the game, and
Very
he
funny.
just shredded it last night. And you said to me, "Were you intimidated?" And I said, "No, I was absolutely inspired. I'm just sitting there watching him." And
Are you taking notes?
I'm taking notes, and I'm absorbing it, and he's been grinding for 20 years. And I don't got 20 years. I'll be 216 years old. You know what I mean?
Just like Jeff. Jeff's on his way there.
But when I heard Jeremy Piven was doing comedy, I thought to myself, that makes sense, because Jeremy's timing is crazy.
Yeah.
And timing is extremely important in comedy. You have to have it. If you don't, you're going to die up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, a breath can ruin the punchline.
Completely. So, I mean, it's easier said than done. Listen, I think someone the quote was, people would rather be pushed out of an airplane than try stand up.
Dude,
it's so terrifying.
I tried it twice, man.
Yeah.
He knows so much for a failed comedian, right?
Yeah.
I did an open mic here, Flappers down the street, and
That's not easy, though.
The audience
That's
was
a tough audience.
Tough audience, because the audience is just other comedians waiting to get on, and they hate you as much as they hate themselves.
Right. And they're like, "Oh, this dude from the radio, okay."
No, I never even said that. I didn't even want to
Okay.
say that, because I don't want them to look at me like the way we look at rich kids who have everything and have these great opportunities.
You
know?
mean the way they look at me?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to ask, right? Because there's got to be road
Look at this white
comics.
privilege dude. What's up, man? Shit. What's up, Ari? You born in the mailroom, man? I like that documentary you did, Entourage. It's actually not a documentary. by the way.
Right. There's got to be some road comics out there with their arms crossed going, yeah, right.
Well, that's what's been really great for me is the comics have come up to me and said, "Man, you're doing the work." And it's like, yes, I am, because
You have to.
I respect the space you occupy whenever you perform. Listen, I don't want to take anyone's spot. I want to earn it. So, and that's what it's all about. Yeah. And it's your job, like you were just saying about timing. Like, if you can somehow be on stage relating to the audience as if you're hanging with your boys and you're totally present and comfortable, then you're onto something. Now, by the way, that's easier said than done, as you know from being up there.
Yeah,
because
it's tough. It's
it's like the difference between hitting pads and being in a street fight.
Sure. It's completely different.
It's completely different.
No,
By
I
the
was
way,
on
speaking
stage-
of which, doesn't Trump look like a guy who's never been punched in the face?
Yes.
Absolutely. No, he
Yes.
looks like a guy that needs to be punched in the face.
Yeah.
You feel me? No, I was up there my second time, and I hear someone laughing, and I look over, and it's my wife laughing at me because I completely just blanked on stage, and I had to go over my notes really quick.
Oh, no.
And Half Baked was playing, so nobody was paying attention. They were playing, they were watching. Everyone in the audience was just watching Half Baked.
Right.
So it's pretty tough to get up there. You know what I mean? It takes a lot.
Yes, it does take a lot, and I don't know if that was the last time you got up.
That was the last time.
Okay, but
that's
here,
it.
I'll just say this about it. And I don't know if you want to go through it. You've got a great job and you're doing your thing.
I still want to do it, though. Yeah,
well, if you want to
eventually.
do it, I will say that what the comedy gods will do for you is, I can tell you from experience, because you had that experience, the next time you go up, it'll be a lot better because you're just being tested right now. Because it won't, Flappers, The Valley, open mic, Half Baked, your wife, everything you just said.
Yep.
It's only going to get better. I'm here to tell you.
I appreciate that. Are you asking me to open for you?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It sounded-
Yeah, listen, on the 12th of Never, let's pencil it in. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
The Brea Improv, Jeremy Piven is there. You can get tickets now. I believe it's BreaImprov.com as well.
sir.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's tonight, Friday night, and Saturday night. Tonight it's 7:30.
Yeah.
No, sorry, 8, and tomorrow night at 7:30. But come on out. We got a few tickets left, and if let's give them some sort of password, Power 106, and you get
like that.
a free meet and greet.
that's fire.
Mention Power 106. You're hanging out with Jeremy Piven backstage. I like that,
Let's
man.
do it.
Yeah, Jeremy Piven is here. Brea Improv. In the world that we live in, and I know you got to run, man, but we live in a you can't say that world.
Right.
Going into comedy, I know a lot of comics personally that are a little scared now going on stage because they fear that they will have to apologize, which no comic really wants to do.
It's interesting. Chappelle said it best. He said that it's the last arena where you can exercise your freedom of speech. And
Is it?
But I hope that remains. I
hope so.
I hope so, man, because we're also living in times where we need to laugh and we need to have a place where we can all speak our truth and just be, we're trying to entertain people up there and give our perspective. And if we're somehow taken down and punished and held accountable for entertaining, then we're not living in a free society.
Yeah.
So, so to answer your question, I hope it is. I really hope it is.
Yeah.
And I hope that we can have more of a dialogue, because I think right now we have people living in extremes, whether it's the left or the right. Yeah. And the only thing that I don't want to see happen is people not being available to let in other people's opinion. If you're so entrenched in your own beliefs that you're incapable of hearing someone else's opinion or the truth, if you're not able in any way, shape, or form to change your mind, there might be a problem. And I feel like that's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And people are kind of going a little crazy, and there's some frustration out there that kind of like their old saying, the fish stinks from the head down.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's some frustration out there.
But what a better place than a comedy club, right? To forget about all that.
Yes.
To put that aside.
Yeah, I think we need laughter now more than ever.
Yes, we do, man.
We're dealing with tragedies out there, people, killing each other, and I think that also stems from people feeling like they're not enough. And
oh man, I've had that feeling many times.
Yeah, and I think that
we all have.
we need to really respect each other and take a moment and see where someone else is possibly coming from, and start a dialogue right now. I mean, it seems like the darkest of times, but maybe this will open up a way for all of us to kind of operate on a higher vibration. I'm sorry for this terrible TED talk that I'm giving right now.
It's okay. We have a few questions from the audience.
Okay. Yeah. What are you doing here, man? I don't know, sir. It's hard to tell.
Rhea Improv, Jeremy Piven. Mention Power 106. You get to go backstage and hang out with Jeremy Piven. Okay. His real name is not Ari Gold. It's Jeremy Piven. Everyone.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Dude, I've known you for 5 minutes. You're a great guy.
Thank you. You too, buddy.
Yeah, you've always been a great guy.
You too.
For the past 5 minutes.
No, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. You guys are real, and it's being from the Midwest and being from Chicago, we hang out and we look people in the eye. And someone said to me, "I could tell you're from Chicago. You look us in the eyes." I'm thinking, where else am I supposed to look at you?
Right.
At your crotch? I'm confused. No, but this feels like Chicago. Feels like home here. So I'll be here every day. It'll be awkward.
Love.
No, you know what I mean?
Come through, man.
Come through, man.
Anytime.
I'd love to. I'll be back here.
You got a home here,
Hell
Power
yeah.
106, man.
Thank you, man. I
We got
appreciate
anything
it.
to say about it. You know what I mean?
Yes, thank you. I
I don't
appreciate
know if we're
it.
going to be here next week, but listen.
You'll be here.
Appreciate that.
Word on
Jeremy
the
Piven.
street is everyone listens.
I like
That's
that.
right.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
Rhea Improv, Cruz Show,
How
Power
you
106,
living,
Jeremy
JP?
Piven. Yeah.